Okay, so that's the basic ways to search. Now we go into a little bit of the bonus features and ways that librarians can contribute to the use of DPLA and the structure of DPLA, really. So first, let's again do a search here. Note that the wildcard characters do work here. It truncates a word, but it also can replace an individual letter. Looking through the search results, and let's say I'm working on a project with my students or collaborating with a colleague, and they're looking for kind of powerful resources, primary resources. So looking through this, let's say I find some really good, interesting articles or resources. So I could click on the item and take the URL of this, but they do have a share feature and they do have a save feature. So in order to take advantage of that, you can sign up for an account. And once you have an account, you can log in. I have an account. I know that is probably not too surprising given my enthusiasm for DPLA. So I log in, and now I'm in a position where I want to save this to a list. So the only lists I have right now are India, Mexico, New York. I want to make a new one. I go to my name, where that is my profile, and saved items and lists. I'm going to create a new list, and I'm going to call it immigrant to share with students and colleagues. It defaults to public. I can make it private if I'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and save this as a public list. So if I go back to those search results, I can now, I need to refresh my screen, and now if I'm on this item, I can save to the immigrant women list. If you set up your Facebook or Twitter account or Google account with DPLA, you can also instantly share what we call DPLA finds through Facebook and Twitter as well. So that ability to be able to kind of start to curate your own lists is kind of a neat way to work with your colleagues and your students in order to be able to say, let's look at some video from different time periods. So if I go into, again, my lists, saved items, save lists, and I click on immigrant women, I can go up here to the public URL and share that with my colleagues or students, or share it through email or Facebook or Twitter, however I want to. What's also really helpful about DPLA is that they made it possible that you can use it with Zotero. In fact, one of the founders of Zotero is also the executive director of DPLA. So if I create a folder within Zotero and I want to save the item, it pulls down the citation information, and it of course uses DPLA as the catalog, but it has the URL go to the original, remember the hosting institution there. As a librarian, you got to be pretty excited that it works with DPLA works with Zotero as well. Some other elements of DPLA that are helpful. We talked about searching with the search box. You can search by map. Again, that's as reliable as the location metadata is. So as you can narrow it down through certain areas, and the dots get smaller. Again, remember there's over 15 million items and only about 4 million have been tagged with maps. Again, you can do the same thing with timeline. So those items that do have a publication date, you can always narrow down your search results. You say I want an item from this area, you click on 1196 and you find items related to a time period. So again, those search features are not as robust as the exhibitions or the primary source sets, because those have had extra metadata and value-added curation added to them. This apps section is really because DPLA is designed to be open, and the mission of DPLA is that of portal, platform, and public option. We've already explored a little bit about the portal and the ability to search a database that's freely available to the public. As a platform, it's open source code, and the metadata is licensed from the host institutions to be usable and reusable. So in this case, the apps area is really where metadata has been used and reused or repurposed by other developers to redisplay DPLA items in various different ways. The ultimate idea behind this is making the metadata open to these developers so that things within DPLA will be more likely to be found. So it could be that the app created different ways to search DPLA. In this case, these two apps allow you to search DPLA and Europeana simultaneously. Europeana was developed earlier. It is the European sister project of DPLA, and these developers were very helpful in the early stages in the development of DPLA. They've also been helpful in developing international rights statements and policies about orphan works, and ways in which to ensure interoperability between various digital repositories. So the desire is really to work together as part of an open platform. But it's also part of the public option. That's the mission, that's that third mission. So in negotiating with contributors, DPLA wanted to make sure those collections were full research accessible, and that not just a video clip or not just an audio snippet or not just a chapter of a book, that the public option always means opting for full public access and even international access. Other apps, some are more helpful than others. If you want to browse by color, go for it. But some of these allow you to kind of see visualization of data. So if you want to see the proportion of the collection that was contributed by one depositor or another, how much of the diversity in language the collection has. This DPLA licenses was really an important part of DPLA realizing that they needed to work on licensing agreements and standardizing licenses, not just amongst DPLA, but between DPLA and Europeana. Wikipedia and Wikimedia have been very interested in working with DPLA, and so these folks have tried to kind of connect search results between DPLA and Wikipedia and Wikimedia. So the apps part of the project is part of the openness. It's designed to be open. It's designed to look for collaboration and make sure that that cultural heritage is as accessible in as many different ways as possible. So at a little less than 4 years, DPLA's done some pretty amazing things in terms of what they're looking forward to. We already talked a little bit about the hubs. There is information on becoming a hub. If there is already, Metro is one of the service providers in the New York City area. Empire State Digital Network is the regional hub. But if you are some other area of the country and you want to look into your hub, you can always find out a little bit more about that in the hubs section. You can find out where your local hub is and learn a little bit more about it, your service hubs. Read about our current service hubs, and there's a whole list of them here. If your area does not have a service hub, then they encourage you to get together, if you're in a public library, to get together with a university library, with local cultural institutions, and get together and first check to see if there's a hub in the works, and if there's not, then you could be a catalyst behind creating a hub. They are trying to standardize the rights statements. There's a committee that's working on standardizations of rights statements, and that's being done in conjunction with Europeana. They're working on standardizing metadata, especially in terms of location fields. But this Get Involved area is a place where you, short of creating a hub, could very much get involved. I am a community representative. I have been since the beginning. They put out a call for community reps about once a year, so you can keep a lookout for that. This ebooks program is very important. It's an element in maximizing access, not just of public domain books that are available through Hathi Trust, but also to make sure that books are available at low or no cost in areas that are otherwise underserved. And that way, New York Public Library has actually been a double advocate in that they're helping to create an ebook reader app that seamlessly pulls down books from DPLA, but also proprietary publishers that are willing to allow books to be made available to folks living in poverty. So it would be a good idea to look into the ebooks, Open eBooks program. If you are a librarian or a teacher, or you work with a church or organization or community center that has literacy programs, you might see if your population qualifies for this Open eBooks program. There are also ebook working group. So if you are interested in being part of that ebook working group, there's ways to get involved that way. There's work streams and current projects, etc. Note also that in the Get Involved area, there's workshops. Those workshops are recorded sessions on gift making, genealogy, rights statements, and education. So this way, if you wanted to host a workshop on genealogy or a Gift It Up program at your library, you could get some ideas on how to do that. Additionally, if any of you are interested, I'm putting together workshops for a grant, and so if you're interested in being part of that, please let me know through my St. John's email address. In closing, DPLA has really come together as much as it has because people from different backgrounds and disciplines gave of their time and treasure and talent, and so there's many ways for you individually and professionally to become involved and be part of what I think is a social goods project. Okay, good luck, and I will talk to you later.